September is not an ordinary month. It carries a weight that the soul can feel before the mind even understands it. This is not just another page in the calendar. It is a threshold, a doorway, a moment when heaven leans closer to earth. Most people will rush through these days distracted, unaware that the atmosphere itself is whispering. But you, yes, you who are still here, were meant to feel the pull. This is not a coincidence. The ancients knew September as the season when endings and beginnings collide, when cycles close and new destinies awaken. To ignore this month is to ignore a sacred invitation. And yet many will pass it by, blind to the signs, deaf to the call. But the chosen ones, the awakened souls, will sense the tremor. They will see the signals in numbers, dreams, and sudden synchronicities. If your heart beats faster hearing these words, it is confirmation. September has chosen you. Type 77 in the comments to declare your alignment, to seal your agreement with the universe. This is your way of saying, I recognize the threshold and I will not sleep through it. Because when destiny knocks, the only mistake is silence. This moment is alive, waiting for you to answer. September stands before you not as just another month, but as a mirror that does not reflect your face, but your soul. This is the test woven into the energy of this time. Are you truly awake, or are you still sleepwalking through the patterns that keep you small? The threshold of September does not always roar with thunder or announce itself with lightning. Instead, it whispers. It hides its power in the quiet details, the way a conversation lingers in your mind, the sudden repetition of numbers, the pull in your heart when you sense a shift but cannot yet explain it. Most people miss it. They go about their routines, blind to the reflection staring back at them. They see only tasks and distractions, while the universe is presenting them with a divine checkpoint. To the unawakened, this is just another day. But to the chosen ones, the ones called to watch closely, September is alive with hidden signals. It is the exam the soul agreed to take long before you were born. Understand this. Life does not test you with dramatic fireworks. It tests you with subtle crossroads. Will you choose patience over frustration? Will you trust the pull to pause when your mind demands rushing? Will you honor the inner nudge to release what no longer serves you, even when it feels uncomfortable? These are the ways September measures your awareness. You are not here by accident. If you feel the strange heaviness in the air, if you sense déjà vu, if you find yourself awake at unusual hours, the mirror is being held before you. This is your confirmation. You are not sleepwalking. You are being invited to prove that. You see what others cannot, and if you are still watching, it means you already know this message is yours. September's mirror will not wait forever. The question is simple. When the reflection looks back, will you recognize yourself as awake, or will you turn away and let the moment pass? This is your test. This is your chance. The mirror is here now. Shadow number 1 comes cloaked in the form of envy. It rarely announces itself directly. Instead, it slips into conversations where a friend suddenly grows cold, where a compliment feels sharpened with hidden edges, where subtle criticism lingers behind a smile. If you have felt others irritated by your growth, understand this. It is not your fault. Your light has stirred what they buried within themselves. You are shining on places they chose to keep in shadow. This is the test. Will you shrink to keep others comfortable, or will you hold your radiance steady, knowing their reaction is proof of your rising? Most people dim their glow to avoid conflict. But you, chosen one, must recognize that envy is not rejection. It is evidence that you are shifting the energy around you. The question is, will you embrace your strength, or silence it to soothe another's insecurity? Shadow number 2 arrives quietly, disguised as distraction. not as a great obstacle, but as the small temptations that pull your gaze away from destiny. It might be the endless scroll on your phone, the sudden urge to fall back into old routines, or the familiar invitation that keeps you circling the same places. Distraction often wears the mask of fun, comfort, or harmless routine. Yet beneath it lies the true test. Will you trade the extraordinary for the ordinary? Many souls lose themselves here, not because of malice, but because they settle for just enough. The universe is watching how you spend your focus. Every choice to drift is a choice to delay the promise written for you. Ask yourself, are you numbing or are you aligning? The energy of September will reveal the difference if you dare to see it. Shadow number 3 is the most deceptive of all. Misdirection. It often comes from the lips of those you love most. A parent who says, "Be realistic." A partner who warns, "Don't take that risk." A friend who insists they're only trying to protect you. Their words may sound wise, but they carry the weight of their fears, not yours. This is how the universe tests your discernment. Will you silence your intuition in favor of another's logic? Or will you trust the radical whisper within that knows the way? Remember, the chosen path rarely looks sensible to those still asleep. The danger is not in their love. It is in their projection. Your test is clear. Can you hear their voices without abandoning your own? The awakened recognize that truth does not always wear the mask of reason. Sometimes it feels dangerous, even reckless, yet it is the call of the soul. September will show you which voice is yours. These 3 shadows, envy, distraction, and misdirection, are not punishments. They are proofs. Proofs that the universe trusts you with a higher path. If you are experiencing them, rejoice. It means your destiny is stirring. The greatest mistake seekers make is waiting for the dramatic. They imagine the universe will part the skies, send lightning across the horizon, or place a glowing doorway before them when it is time to step into destiny. But the truth is far more subtle. The real thresholds, the ones that determine your path, rarely arrive with trumpets. They come in whispers. They slip into your day disguised as ordinary moments, asking silently, "Are you awake or are you still asleep?" The subtlety principle is the law of spiritual testing. The universe measures your awareness not through grand spectacles but through the invisible crossroads of your daily life. A phone call you feel drawn to answer or ignore. A small invitation that feels inconvenient, yet carries a hidden connection. A quiet choice to speak up, even when your voice shakes. These are the doors disguised as routine. To the blind, they mean nothing. To the chosen, they are everything. Think of how often people miss their destiny because they are waiting for something bigger, something louder, something impossible to ignore. They do not see that the universe works through subtle nudges, faint echoes, gentle whispers repeated until you finally lean in to listen. September is not sending flashing signs, it is weaving silent threads. The question is, will you notice them? A warning. If you demand fireworks, you will miss the flame flickering in the candle. If you demand earthquakes, you will miss the tremor in your own chest. Waiting for dramatic signs is how most sleepwalk through the sacred. They tell themselves, if it's really meant for me, it will be obvious. But the awakened know better. The awakened understand that destiny is subtle, because subtlety demands attention, focus, presence. This is why September is so powerful. It forces you to choose. Will you treat the moment as ordinary, or will you pause, listen, and recognize the extraordinary hidden within it? The universe does not shout because shouting requires no awareness. Whispers, however, require devotion. They require you to stop, breathe, and trust the quiet pull over the loud distraction. Every call you feel in your bones, every small doorway that seems insignificant, every quiet stand you take when no one applauds, these are the subtle thresholds that shape your future. The subtlety principle says, the test is here, but it will not look like a test. Only the awake will see it. So do not wait for the skies to open. Do not wait for signs painted in fire. Instead, look closer at what seems invisible. September is not asking you to believe in miracles. It is asking you to recognize that the miracles are already here, hiding in plain sight. And if you are still watching, it means your spirit already knows this truth. The crossroads are before you, disguised as ordinary. The only question is whether you will honor the whisper or overlook it waiting for the roar. The paradox of effort is one of the most misunderstood truths on the spiritual path. Many believe that if they just try harder, if they perform more rituals, recite more mantras, or push their energy with greater intensity, they can force the universe to respond. But alignment does not come through panic, and destiny cannot be bullied into place. Energy responds not to desperation, but to presence. Imagine holding water in your hands. If you cup them gently, the water stays. But the tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips away. This is the essence of the paradox. The more you grasp, the more you lose. The more you force, the further alignment drifts. The universe does not measure how much you struggle. It mirrors how deeply you embody trust. One aligned action, taken with clarity and openness, has more power than 100 empty rituals performed in fear. Lighting a candle with presence will open more doors than repeating prayers frantically while your mind races with doubt. Energy flows to sincerity, not to strain. This is why September's threshold cannot be crossed through frantic effort. It opens only to those who learn the still strength of presence. Most people treat the universe as a strict teacher, watching with a red pen, marking failures and demanding more work. But the universe is not a judge. It is a mirror. It reflects the state you bring. If you bring panic, it mirrors confusion. If you bring trust, it mirrors grace. If you bring desperate effort, it mirrors delay. The paradox is that you do not need to do more. You need to be more. This month you may feel the urge to prove yourself, to hustle spiritually, to grasp at signs as if they will slip away if you do not chase them. Pause. Remember the water. What you chase runs, but what you welcome arrives. This is not about apathy or laziness. It is about aligned effort. Action rooted in presence, not panic. Intention grounded in trust, not fear. The chosen ones learn this balance. They understand that rituals, prayers, and practices are sacred only when they are filled with heart, not when they are performed like frantic transactions. The universe is not a cashier waiting for enough coins of effort. It is a field, reflecting exactly what you plant. So breathe, release the grip. Do the one thing today that feels aligned, not the 100 that feel frantic. Let September teach you the paradox of effort. When you stop trying to control everything, energy begins to flow effortlessly. When you honor presence, doors open without force. The mirror of the universe is waiting. What will it reflect back to you? Panic or presence? The choice, as always, is in your hands. September 5th is not just a date, it is an amplifier. What you carry on this day will not stay small. It will be magnified, sealed, and echoed forward into the weeks and months ahead. Most people treat days like passing clouds, here and gone. But this is not an ordinary day. The energy of September 5th is a cosmic microphone, taking the whispers of your inner state and projecting them into the universe like a stadium-filling sound. What you whisper within will soon be what the world shouts back to you. Understand this. The day does not end at sunset. The vibration you embody, the frequency you choose, continues humming long after the clock strikes midnight. This is why the ancients spoke of days of sealing. September 5th is one of those thresholds. It records your vibration like ink on parchment. Gratitude carried in your heart will ripple outward, calling opportunities toward you. But resentment, fear, or bitterness will also be magnified, attracting more of their own kind. The amplifier does not discriminate. It reflects exactly what you give it. This is both a warning and a promise. A warning, because negativity left unchecked today may echo louder than you expect. A promise, because a single decision to hold gratitude, even in the smallest of moments, can transform the path ahead. One smile, one blessing whispered over your morning, one choice to forgive rather than cling. These are not small. Under September 5th, they become enormous. Most people will miss this. They will think the day is ordinary, another page torn from the calendar. But the chosen ones will feel the amplification. They will notice how quickly thoughts manifest, how swiftly moods shift reality, how the smallest inner choice ripples outward. If you are hearing this, you are being asked to be intentional. Carry gratitude like a seed today, and you will harvest abundance tomorrow. Carry resentment like a stone, and you will trip over its weight again and again. The amplifier is impartial, but you are not powerless. You choose what is placed before the microphone of the cosmos. So pause and ask yourself, what vibration will you seal into the fabric of your future? The echo begins now, and September 5th will make it louder than ever. Choose carefully. Choose wisely. Choose presence, gratitude, and alignment. For what you release into this day will not end tonight. It will walk with you into tomorrow. Every choice you make sends a vibration into the universe. Most people think of decisions as single events, here one moment and gone the next. But spiritually, there is no such thing as just a choice. Every action, every word, every thought plucks a cosmic string, and the note continues ringing long after you have moved on. This is the echo principle, the law that nothing ends at the moment it begins. Everything reverberates, amplifying itself across time and space. Think of a bell struck in a quiet cathedral. The sound expands, it fills the air, it lingers even when silence seems to have returned. So too do your choices. They echo into the unseen, shaping what opportunities approach and what obstacles repeat. For those who are awake, this principle brings acceleration. A single aligned action today can set in motion open doors, divine synchronicities, and opportunities that appear as if out of nowhere. You may forgive someone quietly and suddenly find yourself freed into abundance weeks later. You may act with courage once and watch it ripple into connections and breakthroughs across months. Alignment echoes forward like music, gaining strength with every repetition. But for the distracted, the same law becomes a trap. Choosing delay, choosing fear, choosing resentment. These too echo. They create resistance that hardens into patterns. A missed moment today does not vanish. It repeats, circling back like an unfinished chord demanding resolution. This is why some souls feel stuck in cycles. They are living inside the echoes of yesterday's choices. September sharpens this principle. Under its energy, reverberations move faster. What you set in motion now will return sooner, and the echoes will stack. This is not punishment. It is clarity. The universe wants you to see the pattern, to hear the sound you are making. If you find yourself facing the same tests again and again, it is the echo returning, asking you to shift your note. If you are feeling doors close, it is the reverberation of hesitation. If you are watching blessings multiply, it is the resonance of faith. The awakened know this truth. You are not just living in the present. You are living in the echoes of your past while simultaneously creating the echoes of your future. September magnifies this dance. What you do now will not stop with today. It will hum through the weeks, vibrate into the seasons, and stack upon itself until the song of your choices becomes undeniable. So pause before you act. Ask, what sound am I releasing into the cosmic strings? Is it harmony or dissonance? Is it gratitude or complaint? Is it trust or fear? Because the universe does not silence your notes. It multiplies them. And if you are still watching, it means this principle was meant for you. You are being called to choose differently, to create echoes that lift you higher instead of binding you to old patterns. Remember, the echo principle is never neutral. It is always working. The only question is whether its reverberation will open doors or close them. Today is your chance to strike a note that will carry you into alignment. Listen closely, for what you release now will echo louder than you imagine, and the future will dance to the sound of the choices you make today. Awareness is the hidden lever of transformation. Many believe they are trapped in cycles simply because life is cruel, or the universe is testing them without mercy. But that is not the truth. The universe is not cruel. It is precise. Patterns are not punishments. They are mirrors. And mirrors, once recognized, lose their power to bind. The moment you see clearly, the frequency begins to shift. This is the recognition factor, the truth that awareness alone can alter the vibration. You do not need to fight endlessly against the past. You do not need to earn freedom through struggle. You need only to recognize the pattern, to acknowledge the echo, to say with clarity, I see you and I choose differently. That single act of awareness begins to dissolve what once felt immovable. September 5th magnifies this principle. It is not simply another day. It is a concentrated checkpoint moment. The choices you make, the thoughts you hold, the emotions you entertain, will be sealed more deeply than usual. This is why awareness now matters so greatly. To drift unconsciously on this day is to imprint confusion into your future. To recognize the pattern and shift, even slightly, is to set yourself free. Guard your heart, your focus, your energy. Be intentional with what you carry, because what you seal is what you see. If you carry resentment, you will see more reasons to resent. If you carry gratitude, you will see opportunities multiplied. If you carry fear, you will meet shadows. If you carry faith, you will encounter doors opening in places you never imagined. Most people will move through September 5th unaware. They will treat it like any other day, blind to the checkpoint before them. But you are not here by accident. If you are still listening, it is because you are being called to recognize and choose. This awareness is your gift. This awareness is your power. And what you seal in awareness today will become the reality you walk into tomorrow. Here is the final truth. September is not simply a date. It is a seal, a mirror, a stamp pressed into the fabric of your destiny. What you carry today becomes the vibration that echoes forward. What you choose to embody will not vanish with the setting sun. It will magnify. This day is alive with cosmic intelligence, waiting to record the frequency you bring into it. But hear this clearly. Heaven is not waiting for you to perform rituals without meaning, to chant words while your heart races with fear, or to force alignment through effort. Heaven is waiting for you to embody truth, to live it, to stand in it, to breathe it. The universe mirrors not what you pretend, but what you are. If you carry resentment, it will reflect resentment. If you carry love, it will reflect abundance. Your vibration does not stay small. It travels, it multiplies. It becomes the soil in which your future grows. And September 5th, above all days, is the moment when the soil is most fertile. You were meant to hear this, because you are not meant to miss the opportunity. If you are still listening, you already know this message is not coincidence. It is the universe calling you to recognize the seal, the mirror, the stamp, and to choose wisely what you place into it. So, how do you honor this day? Begin with release. Release resentment, because resentment is an anchor dragging yesterday into tomorrow. Transform fear, because fear creates walls where doors should be. Choose faith, even when it trembles, because faith builds the bridge to the unseen. Stay present. Do not let distractions rob you. The universe does not require your endless activity. It requires your attention. Be silent rather than argumentative, for silence carries power when it is filled with awareness. Trust your intuition over logic, especially today. Logic may point to the safe road, but intuition carries the map written in your soul. These small acts are not small at all. On September 5th, they become amplified, sealed, magnified. One conscious breath of trust outweighs hours of frantic striving. This is alignment, not complexity, but clarity. Choose presence, and the universe will meet you in the stillness. What waits for the chosen ones who honor this day? Flow, synchronicities, protection. The doors that once seemed locked begin to shift. Opportunities that were invisible come into view. Life stops feeling like almost and begins to feel like alignment. This is the inheritance of those who recognize the checkpoint, who step through awake rather than asleep. Do not underestimate the small decisions. A single act of forgiveness echoes into peace. A single word of gratitude multiplies into provision. A single moment of faith opens pathways that logic could never chart. Under September's seal, the universe does not measure grandeur. It measures truth, and truth always expands. Your inheritance is not chaos, not endless cycles of almost there. It is the deep knowing that you are held, guided, protected, and positioned. That is what flows to those who carry awareness through this sacred threshold. You did not stumble here by chance. This message found you because you are chosen. You are being guided, protected, awakened. The universe placed these words in your path so you would not walk blindly through September 5th. Honor this day. Walk awake. Do not allow yourself to drift into distraction or fear. Recognize the mirror, the seal, the stamp, and choose to carry gratitude, faith, and presence into it. If you are still listening, this is your confirmation. You are called and you are ready. Now, chosen one, the invitation extends beyond you. Share this message. Let others know September is not ordinary. The world is full of souls who will miss the threshold because no one told them it was sacred. Be the voice, the ripple, the echo. Spread the awakening. Share these words with your soul family, your friends, your community. Type, "I am awake" in the comments as your seal of recognition. Step forward knowing this truth. What you sealed today will determine what you see tomorrow. And together, we rise.